The operating room, a place of sterile hope, where skilled hands work miracles. It's a sanctuary of precision and care, where every movement is calculated to save lives and alleviate suffering. But for some patients of Dr. Christopher Duntsch, it became a chamber of horrors. Instead of healing, they found themselves trapped in a nightmare. He was a rising star in the field of neurosurgery, promising relief from debilitating pain. His credentials were impeccable, and his confidence was infectious. Yet behind the confident facade lurked a dark secret. Duntsch wasn't healing, he was maiming and killing. His actions were not just mistakes, they were catastrophic failures. Patients went in hoping for a better life, only to leave disfigured, disabled, or worse, in a body bag. Their dreams of recovery shattered by the very person they trusted most. How could a doctor, sworn to do no harm, inflict such suffering? The Hippocratic Oath seemed a distant memory in Duntsch's practice. The answer lies in a chilling tale of arrogance, negligence, and a system that failed to protect the vulnerable. It's a story that exposes the cracks in our healthcare system. This is the story of Dr. Death, a tale that has left an indelible mark on the medical community and beyond. The case sent shockwaves through the medical community and beyond, raising disturbing questions about accountability, oversight, and the trust we place in those who hold our lives in their hands. It forced a reckoning with the standards and practices that govern medical professionals. We delve into the harrowing journey of Duntsch's victims, the relentless pursuit of justice, and the fight to ensure such a tragedy never happens again. Their stories are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for justice. Christopher Duntsch seemed destined for greatness. He graduated at the top of his class in medical school, securing a prestigious residency in neurosurgery. Colleagues initially saw him as brilliant and driven, a surgeon with exceptional technical skills. He exuded confidence, assuring patients he was the best, the only one who could fix them. But beneath the surface, warning signs simmered. Whispers of arrogance and recklessness followed Duntsch through the operating room doors. He often disregarded senior surgeons' advice, believing his methods were superior. His ambition, once a virtue, morphed into a dangerous obsession. Duntsch craved recognition, accolades, and wealth. The well-being of his patients became secondary to his own ambitions. This toxic cocktail of ego and ambition would soon prove fatal. The stories of Duntsch's patients are heartbreaking, filled with pain and suffering that could have been avoided. They are testaments to his horrific surgical practices which left a trail of devastation in their wake. One patient, Kelly Martin, went in for a simple spinal fusion, a procedure she hoped would relieve her pain. Instead, she left paralyzed, her life forever altered and her dreams shattered. "He butchered me," she said, her voice trembling with anger and pain, unable to comprehend the extent of her loss. "He took everything from me," she added, her eyes filled with tears. Another patient, Jerry Summers, considered Duntsch a friend, someone he trusted implicitly. Duntsch had operated on Summers' neck, leaving him with permanent nerve damage and excruciating pain that he would have to endure for the rest of his life. "I trusted him with my life," Summers said, his voice thick with emotion. "And he destroyed it." As Duntsch hopped from hospital to hospital, the trail of devastation grew longer, with more and more patients falling victim to his incompetence. Patients suffered nerve damage, paralysis, chronic pain, and even death. Their lives irrevocably changed. The operating room became a macabre stage for Duntsch's incompetence, a place where hope turned into horror. His scalpel, a tool meant to heal, became a weapon in the hands of a madman. The sheer number of victims painted a horrifying picture, revealing a pattern of recklessness and a blatant disregard for human life. Each surgery was a gamble, a roll of the dice with patients' lives hanging in the balance. With patients unwittingly placing their lives in the hands of a man who had no business operating, the outcomes were often tragic. The victims' stories serve as a stark reminder of the devastating impact one person's actions can have on countless lives. Section 4. A system in failure. How did this happen? The question that haunted investigators and victims' families was simple. How could a surgeon like Duntsch continue operating for so long? The answer is a complex and disturbing indictment of a system riddled with loopholes and a culture of silence. Hospitals, eager to attract a surgeon of Duntsch's perceived caliber, often overlooked or downplayed red flags. They prioritized profit over patient safety, turning a blind eye to the mounting evidence of his incompetence. Medical boards tasked with protecting the public from dangerous doctors were slow to act. Their investigations were often lengthy and cumbersome, allowing Duntsch to move from state to state, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. The system designed to safeguard patients had failed catastrophically. It allowed a dangerous individual to operate with impunity, putting countless lives at risk. The Duntsch case exposed a chilling truth. The mechanisms in place to protect patients were woefully inadequate. Section 5. The Pursuit of Justice. Doctors and Lawyers Unite. The fight to stop Duntsch was long and arduous, filled with numerous obstacles and setbacks. It fell to a small group of heroic doctors and a determined prosecutor to bring him to justice. Their unwavering commitment and collaboration were crucial in this battle. These individuals refused to let the system silence the voices of the victims. They stood firm, advocating for those who had suffered. Dr. Robert Henderson, a respected vascular surgeon, was one of the first to raise the alarm about Duntsch. His experience and insight were invaluable. Horrified by what he witnessed in the operating room, Henderson became a relentless advocate for the victims, pushing for investigations and speaking out against Duntsch's dangerous practices. His dedication never wavered. Dallas prosecutor Michelle Shugart recognized the criminal negligence in Duntsch's actions. Her legal acumen and determination were pivotal. She saw beyond the medical jargon and understood the human cost of his actions. Her empathy and insight drove her efforts. Shugart fought tirelessly to hold Duntsch accountable, building a case that would expose the truth and bring a measure of justice to the victims. Her perseverance was inspiring. Their pursuit of justice was a beacon of hope in a system that had failed so many. It showed that change was possible. They proved that even in the face of immense pressure and resistance, the truth could prevail. Their victory was a testament to the power of perseverance and unity. Section 6. Life after Duntsch. Scars both physical and emotional. For the victims of Duntsch, the physical and emotional scars run deep. Many are left with permanent disabilities, chronic pain, and the inability to work or enjoy life as they once did. The trauma of their experiences continues to haunt them, a constant reminder of the trust betrayed and the lives shattered. The families of those who died at Duntsch's hands grapple with unimaginable grief and anger. They are left to pick up the pieces, forever haunted by the knowledge that their loved ones' deaths were preventable. The Duntsch case serves as a stark reminder that the consequences of medical negligence extend far beyond the operating room. They ripple outwards, impacting families, communities, and the very fabric of trust that binds us together. Section 7. A Call to Action, Protecting Patients, Preserving Trust. The tragic case of Christopher Duntsch is a wake-up call for the medical profession and society as a whole. It highlights the urgent need for systemic change to ensure patient safety and prevent such horrors from happening again. Hospitals must prioritize patient safety over profit, implementing rigorous credentialing processes and creating cultures where concerns can be raised without fear of reprisal. Medical boards need to streamline investigations and take swift action against dangerous doctors. We as patients must also be proactive in our healthcare. We need to research our doctors, ask questions, and advocate for ourselves. Silence is not an option when lives are at stake. The memory of Duntsch's victims demands action. We owe it to them, and to ourselves, to create a healthcare system that prioritizes safety, transparency, and accountability. Only then can we truly honor the sanctity of the doctor-patient relationship and ensure that the operating room remains a place of healing, not harm.